AP was sent home in the last few episodes just because the men didn't think she was ready to move on from the loss of her husband, and she kept talking about this when she was on dates. Then Wiley was sent home because he was coming across a bit too young and he wasn't really making any connections, so this made sense. And now in this latest episode, we had Precious being sent home. And we knew Precious was going to get sent home because so many people thought she was just a party girl. Now, let's try and decipher some of this and take this apart. All the men seem to be very convinced that Precious is this big party girl. I'm not quite sure what they've seen or heard, but on our screens it's very confusing because we haven't seen Precious show any example of her being this big party person any more so than anyone else on this show. Let me know in the comment section if you've seen anything or if you agree with the men or disagree. Because I am very confused to why they've come to this conclusion. Even she was confused when she was told that she is being eliminated and it's because literally they think she's this party girl, maybe she's not ready to settle down. We saw also in the last few episodes that Precious started acting quite desperate and wanted to start telling all the guys that she's not a party girl, and she was constantly selling herself. But at this point, it was awkward because we could see none of the men really had a connection with her or even really liked her or were willing to give her a chance. If I was Precious, I would have just decided to self-eliminate before this even happened, because there was really no point in her being on the show when all the men seemed to be very sure she was this big party girl and were not even willing to give her a chance. It kind of comes across like the Wiley thing. All the women were very sure that he's young, so therefore immature, and none of them were really willing to give him a chance. But the real tea, the real hot tea, came when Demetrius was speaking to Joy because she was in the bottom two. And Joy started to clap back and talk about how Demetrius isn't really here for the right reasons. She asked him, "Why are you here? Do you even have a connection with anyone? Do you like anyone here?" She was very, very angry and a little bit aggressive. And Demetrius was even taken aback. And also, what makes this very confusing is Precious said when she was about to be eliminated that Demetrius has been going around telling all the guys that she is a party girl. So there is something about Demetrius that is really setting off all these women. What has he been saying? What has he done? Does Demetrius do more off screen than he does on screen? Because on screen, I'm not going to lie, Demetrius does not seem that interesting. He doesn't have a lot going for him in terms of his personality. All we ever see him do is just talk about his past and try and get to know the women, and then talk about how he's offended when people tell them their opinion of him. I've not seen Demetrius do anything else. In the first few episodes, Demetrius was doing a lot of sitting back and observing and watching, and a lot of people were even concerned that he was going to get eliminated because he wasn't doing anything. So it came as a big surprise when there was the dare game and Sabrina decided to pick Demetrius as her biggest connection and kissed him. Everyone was taken aback, even Tori. So there is something about Demetrius that seems very sly. Let me know in the comment section, because you know, as they say, there is no smoke without fire. Maybe the women are misconstruing the things that he's saying. Maybe people are saying stuff that he said and maybe they've misinterpreted what he said to them. But something is going on with Demetrius. There is this vibe that he's now starting to give that maybe he's playing the game. We also saw that he had a date with Tina, and Tina again put him on blast and spoke about how she's not really sure if he would give her a chance because he was kissing on someone else and having his earlobes kissed and all these things, which was nice to see, because if he is going on a date with her, she needs to know, is he even willing to give her a chance, or is he just there for Sabrina and this whole game that him and Tori seem to be playing on who's going to win her? Plot twist. No one saw this coming. Donovan was one of the last guys to be introduced, and Sabrina very much likes him. She went on a date with him and they had a great connection. There's so much chemistry. He is very interested in her, and I think he might say she is going to be his top choice. So I see him in there fighting for her. So now Sabrina has Tori or Demetrius or Donovan. Which one of these guys do you think she really likes? Because we know Sabrina is also playing the game. There is a guy she definitely likes, And the other ones, she's just using obviously to get to the end, because that's how Ready to Love works. And Donovan also has a lot of options as well, because now he's got Dakia also liking him. And I'm pretty sure other women as well are very interested in him. But he looks fantastic, he's suave, and his personality seems like it's really winning the women over. So I can see this guy definitely getting to the end. Let me know in the comment section if you agree. And also, speaking of people who are just over the way this show works, let's take it to Joy. She very much just wants to pick Clifton, and you can tell she's tired. She is tired. On the date with Paul, she just wanted to be with Clifton. She even friend-zoned him immediately. And we can also see that Clifton, even though he's giving other women a chance, he had this great date with Dakia and they have great chemistry, I think he too really likes Joy, and everyone else is kind of an option. So it does feel like they need to start getting to the point where they need to sieve down and just get to the true connection. Something which Laverne said in the men's room, and he got a lot of trash for saying so. I mean, he has a point, but also no one really needed his advice, so he needed to calm down. And speaking of Laverne, him and Ace had a wonderful date. We know Laverne likes Joy, but now I think he's realized that Joy is not going to pick him. So part of him now is thinking, maybe let me go with the second option. And not that second option is necessarily bad, because I do genuinely think Laverne likes Ace and Ace likes him. And I think they are so much better for each other than him and Joy. But she will realize at some point she's not really his first choice. Again, which is not a bad thing if the guy really likes you, but it might be something that Ace thinks about as they get closer and closer to the final. We also need to talk about Eric. He's becoming a bit of a problem. If we look at the previews for the next episode, we see that Dakia is fuming. He's obviously said or done something, and she looks like she is ready to self-eliminate. We know Dakia really likes Eric, and they had this amazing connection till Carmen came along. And all of a sudden now there's a lot of drama. On the date with Carmen, Eric spoke about how Dakia kissed him, and it made it sound like she kissed him and he really wasn't feeling it. So that was already quite disrespectful. Then Carmen talks about how if she wants Eric, she can get him. They seem to have a connection that they already had before the show, which is another weird thing when they choose people that already know each other. I think they should stop doing that. But Carmen and Eric seem to have a little connection, and something has obviously happened between Dakia and Eric in the next episode for Dakia to be so angry with Eric. What does he do? Let me know if you have any guesses and put them in the comment section. But I can't wait for the next episode, and I can't wait to see all this drama unfold and see what's going to happen and what did Eric actually do. Join me for my other videos as I talk a bit more in depth about everything else that's happened, because so much has happened on Ready to Love. And let me know in the comment section if there's anything you want me to talk about specifically. As always,